coming up on At Your Leisure.
I'm Jake with SlikRok Productions.
I'm Brett Hermansen. And I'm Curt with SlikRok Productions, and today we're going to do a complete review on the new Polaris Xpedition and give you all the details.
I'm Will Oxley, beating the heat in southern Utah and learning about some ancient history.
I'm Chad Booth. Follow Ryan Sprague as we rev the bikes for a great ride to support a great cause, the ride to prevent suicide.
Hi, welcome to At Your Leisure. We're out here with our brand new Xpeditions. We're going to check these things out. I'm here with the SlikRok guys. This is Jake, this is Curt. I'm Brett Hermansen. We're going to try out these things, see how they are, and you know, I'm more of a mountain rider. These guys are more technical. They build these things for rock crawling and doing all kinds of wild stuff. Me, I'm not so wild. I just enjoy the air conditioning, the closed up cab, the comfort of not having the dust.
What we're going to try to do here is offer you guys some different dimensions on doing a review. Do something a little bit different here. Reviews are tricky because people are thinking about buying machines or wondering what their next purchase is, wondering what kind of a fit it is for their riding style. And that's really important. When you're looking to buy a machine, all these things are expensive. We all know that. You want to spend your money on something that you're going to enjoy, you're going to utilize, you're going to get the most out of. And so this machine is a brand new platform from Polaris. This is the Polaris Xpedition. And over the years, our complaints have been the crossover machines. Their General has been kind of their go-to crossover. And although it's a great platform, we've always felt like it didn't have enough suspension, it was a little underpowered, it didn't have that closure, you couldn't have climate control. And so this is the bridge to that. These are phenomenal machines. They're really cool. We're excited about these. But you know, it's like the crossover world's kind of tough. If you remember back in the Enduro days when you bought a dirt bike or you had a street bike, the Enduro was in the middle. But it didn't perform like a dirt bike, it didn't perform like a street bike. It was lacking in areas. It's universal across the platform, but it was lacking. Well, this really bridges that gap. So these machines have phenomenal suspension. They have great enclosures in them. They have heat, they have AC, they have climate control in them. They're a lot more powerful. They're 30 more horsepower than the General was. So you really get that feel to them that they're an actual great crossover. But let's talk about what our knee-jerk reaction. What was the favorite thing you like about them?
With the miles I've put on it and the trail ride I've done, we've had a lot of experience with cabbed machines, different brands and things.
Right.
And the thing that drives me nuts is all the rattles. The doors rattles, you hear the suspension squeak. And all the miles I've put down on this so far, I haven't had a single door rattle or a squeak come from this machine, which has been phenomenal.
The doors not rattle. I totally agree. That's a great one. Yeah, they are super quiet inside. They're super plush. When you're on washboards and stuff, it doesn't sound like the machine's coming apart.
Exactly, yeah.
How about you? What is your favorite part?
I like the fully enclosed part. One, if you have dogs, they can go in the very back. They're gonna love it. They can lay down on the bed back there. And with me, my wife, we can get stuck in the mountains for a month and we would survive because my wife brings everything with us when we go. And so
she's not gonna see this, so don't even worry about it.
But yeah, I like it. There's lots of room to bring all your stuff.
Yeah, that's
I have a huge cooler in this thing right now. I got chairs in there, coats, snack things. I've got all the camera equipment.
Wait, you have snacks? This whole time you've had snacks.
Yeah, I got candy bars, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so we'll rob you in a minute.
Okay.
But that's a great point. There's a lot of cargo space on it. It does keep everything clean. So I guess the best case in point of this machine I've had for 3 weeks or so. Run bare leg, multiple mountain runs. I was down in Moab last week. I ran a lot of trails down there. I have not washed the inside of this machine. I sprayed the outside of it off twice, but I haven't cleaned the inside of this machine. And if you crack a door on this thing, outside of where my feet get in and out, it's a pretty good testament to how well these things seal. There is relatively no dirt in it. The dash is clean. I said, other than the floor, my feet get in and out, they stay really clean. So What do you guys do for riding? Do you like mountain riding? Do you like sand dunes? Do you like rock crawling? It's like, if you're a sand dune guy, this probably isn't a great machine for you. If you're a diehard rock crawler, enclosures don't really work that well for that. But 95% of the people out there utilize the mountains. They like to go out and go trail riding with their family. They want comfort. These things have great suspension, phenomenal cabs. We'll get into all that kind of stuff. But I think this is a wonderful platform, and I think we're gonna have a great day out here riding.
Oh, for sure. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these machines out on the trail. We're gonna dive into some of those details that Curt just mentioned. And why we do that, go ahead and check out this story.
In Utah, history hides around every rock and every tree, and Quail Creek State Park is no exception. Situated within the park, Dig Paddle Sports is a great place to learn how to stand up paddleboard or just rent equipment and do your own thing. But if you take a paddleboard tour with Bill Ennis, you'll get an education in the history of the area.
This valley was home to native Puebloans between about 1,000 and 2,000 years ago. And then the Paiute moved to the area 800 or 900 years ago. And there are some incredible petroglyphs that we'll be able to see that most people don't know about. Like a lot of areas in southern Utah, they're public access. Person can go and find these and see these, but the access isn't phenomenal. You have to get to it by water. It gives us the opportunity to share some very special history of the area in a respectful way that most people that grew up here don't even know exist. Across the lake, you can see there's a variety of color in the landscape. We can paddle right up next to those features and see what erosion has done over time. And we have sandstone, mudstone, limestone shales that are in the landscape. There's some gorgeous limestone shale coves at the northeast section of the lake. So there's a lot to see, a lot to do. Number one, we're gonna paddle. Paddling is critical. And then we're gonna hike.
I just gravitate towards the water. That's why Bill and I are friends, is because we share that in common. I live in a place that suits who I am. I'm very lucky that I can see that and have been given the opportunity to come here.
I just love the scenery, the people, just enjoying life and nature, because most people don't get this, and it's just really fun to be out here.
There's a variety of history in the rock in Utah. There's no comprehensive dictionary that tells us that symbol A means this definition in our contemporary language. So many of the glyphs are highly representational, meaning there's a picture of, say, a bird that means a bird, but that representation very probably also has some deeply symbolic meaning, that it means something much more than just a bird. It might mean, it could mean travel. It could mean part of a greater story about maybe a migration or something like that. And I think even so that we have in general, the petroglyphs are sacred in nature. I feel like the ones that we understand, even more so, because it connects us to the people that made those marks. It helps us to understand the messages that they were trying to communicate to future generations.
It's awesome. But today I came out here and I got to see all of that. Was new for me for the first time as well. I haven't explored the petroglyphs, and I think it's hard for us to interpret what that means without having talked to the people who wrote it.
And the other thing that gets me about the petroglyphs is that we can see what these people cared about. They were very observant, and some of these are actually very well designed. They're very clearly designed, intentionally designed, and that's always fascinated me.
If you're looking for a unique way to engage with the past and learn about our predecessors, Bill Ennis is a wealth of knowledge who will open your eyes to the ancient history hiding in plain sight.
Anybody who likes being outside, anybody who likes adventure, we can accommodate anybody, really.
We now have the largest paddleboard and kayak fleet in southern Utah, so we have the ability to accommodate large groups here at Quail Creek. We have the blessing of being able to paddle through this area where for millennia people just have never been able to do this. So we recognize we have a unique opportunity in time and space to do this in this location. Honestly, the sacred petroglyph fields of not just one but multiple native tribes.
first thing you notice is the colors. Blue sky contrasting against red horizon. Blanding, Utah. The world goes on forever out here. There's nothing stopping you. In Blanding, you can ride right from downtown on Recapture Rim Trail, discovering the heritage of the West without limits or boundaries. Don't be held back. Join us in a land of true freedom. Blanding, more to be explored.
Wondering where your next OHV adventure will take you? Outsiders Utah has your answer with downloadable GPS routes, ride times, distance, local amenities, and other details. 360 street views of the trails that let you explore before you go, and more. Eliminate the guesswork and uncertainty and find a trail you'll love. Visit outsidersutah.com and see the trail before you ride the trail.
This is what it sounds like when quality speaks for itself. The Honda Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew with class-leading comfort for 6. Tough, reliable, capable. Part of the 2023 Honda Pioneer lineup. Enough said.
Places like the San Rafael Swell are famous for a reason. Endless riding opportunities, history that reaches back millennia, sites you never knew existed. All it needs is one central location where you can easily visit it all. That place is Farron, Utah. Sleep comfortably, dine in, and ride directly from your hotel or campsite. Experience the San Rafael Swell. Experience Farron.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. Let me show you some of the things on the new Expedition. One, the tailgate's really nice, and it can hold a lot more weight on it. One of the nice things is they put the lock and ride back here in the back, and the rear seat folds down back here. So you got a lot of space to the front end. They got a nice pad here so your cooler doesn't move around. Of course, these are 4 doors. I do have the seat folded down right now. It's very simple. You just fold that back up and there you go. And now you have 3 seats in the back, not just 2, like the General and some of the other vehicles. We just came up the trail just eating dust behind Curt, and we're not dusty in here at all. This is more like a car. They actually have seals around the door that push into a real nice flat surface all the way around. The other nice thing, and the doors really are solid. The other nice thing is, up here on the windshield, you'll notice the seal actually goes out over the bar. So everything just seals up much better. And this, like the old North Stars, they do have a windshield wiper with a windshield washer. So if you get the dust and stuff, you can hit that. The Ranger had the AC and everything. This one's a little more car-like, because you can actually adjust it right here to go from defrost down to heat to air conditioning or whatever. You have 3 knobs instead of just the 2, one for the fan and one for the hot and cold. You have your nice ceiling in them. You do have a dome light. So this really is truly a sealed up cabin in this thing. More like a car or a Jeep. We're gonna take off on the trail. We're at your leisure in a minute.
Where do you start your day when there are endless opportunities to explore? In Ridgefield, we'll set you on the right track with the Paiute ATV Trail right on our doorstep. Head into the Tusher Mountains and taste the crisp mountain air. Explore desert landscapes that echo voices from the past. Ridgefield, the heart of Utah Trail Country.
Join us on AYL 24/7 with early access to commercial-free episodes, detailed trip itineraries, a look behind the scenes, group discussions and forums, profile and account customization, individual segments, and a nostalgic trip to classic episodes. We want our viewers to get the show they want to see when they want to see it. It's all the viewing you've grown to love and more. Sign up now at AYLTV.com.
Before you pack the car,
before you plan the route, make sure your vacation be the one you always dreamed of.
with a pre-trip visit to TuneX.
Locally owned,
regionally connected.
TuneX can get you on the road
and keep you there.
No matter where you travel in Utah.
From timing belts to oil changes,
transmission service or new brakes,
a towing upgrade or even a tune-up,
we have the certified technicians
to do the job right. There's a TuneX near you.
Find it at tunex.com.
Sometimes to recharge, you need to unplug. In Tikaboo, Utah, you'll find a landscape that will give you more energy than you ever thought possible. Escape the heat in the Henry Mountains, where history, off-road adventure, and bison herds meet. It's time to unplug and recharge. Tikaboo, Utah.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. We've been up here in northern Utah having a ball driving these new Polaris Xpeditions around Porcupine Dam. We've seriously been able to get some ins and outs, and I've had a good time. Have you guys?
Absolutely.
Been great.
Been great.
I've showed you some of the interior features, the air conditioning, whatnot, you know, stuff that is really kind of important to me and my wife because we just ride around up in the hills. We're going to turn it over to Curt now. He's going to give you some of the technical stuff. This is what he does.
So as far as a factory machine, this is absolutely one of my favorite machines that's come from Polaris so far. The A-arms are a lot longer on one of these, so you get a lot more travel out of them. The longer your A-arm is, the more travel you get out of them. So they ride a lot better, they absorb anything that you throw out on the trail a lot more, they're very, very comfortable. So your overall driving experience is just really plush. It is very comfortable. But as far as the machine itself goes, Polaris has gone above and beyond with a whole bunch of components on this machine. The A-arms are a lot thicker gauge steel, so if you hit something, they don't bend as easy. They're a lot tougher. Historically, Polaris has had 10mm bolts that hold all suspension together. They bumped up to 12mm bolts. That's something we've been changing for a lot of years. We've been drilling them out and putting bigger bolts in them. And so our hats are off to them for that. There's a lot of equipment that these things come with. The shocks on them are a dual rate spring. They're the Fox shocks. They're super plush. They ride it really well. It just really handles very, very nice. But they come with 15-inch wheels. They have plenty of clearance for 32s factory. They do not rub if you put 32s on them, which we've done on our machines. For off-road capability, for mountain riding, and for just going out and enjoying a weekend or a night with your family and taking in everything that this place has to offer, this is a wonderful machine. They are worth the money. So we kind of went over some of the things that we like.
Yep.
So let's do the Achilles heel. What do you not like, Jake?
So out of the box, those first, I would say 40, 50 miles, I was really nervous with the brakes. So coming to a stop sign, everything felt really soft.
Right.
So I was kind of nervous about that, but the more miles I get on it, it's become a non-issue.
Seems like after 30, 40 miles, they kind of break in there better.
Exactly.
Either that or we're getting used to it, we don't know.
Right.
Either way, it feels a little bit better. Yep, gotcha. I'm with you on that one. How about you?
Mine would be, and this, bear in mind, this is specific to this model of the Expedition only. Mine's the noise level. You know, where it's totally enclosed, the engine's right underneath that rear compartment that is part of the interior, you know, car. The noise level's a little high. I'm gonna dynamat mine. Curt was saying there's a rear partition you can put in there, a rear window. I'm gonna look into that. So that'd be my only thing.
I agree with you. I don't think they're any louder than the Rangers. I've owned a lot of Rangers. I own a lot of Rangers. But I feel like they're all too loud. That's how I feel. If I had to pick something I don't love about it, I'm probably gonna argue price on it. But I argue that about everything because I'm cheap. But there is a lot of R&D. It's like it takes 5-6 years for Polaris to go through and test everything, and when you're coming out with new platforms, like I get it. I think that everything in the UTV world is more expensive than it should be. They're going to cost you a little bit more, but you do get AC with them. You get heat, you get nav, you get front cameras, back cameras. You have a cab that seals properly. There's a lot of comfort to it. All the things that you would put money into to turn your machine into something it wasn't when it came out of the box is pretty much already done with one of these. And once again, the aftermarket support is going to be phenomenal on these things. We're excited to see where we can take it. But let's go do a little more riding and check out this next story.
In 2020, 2021, a group of motorcycle riders decided to take their love for riding and turn it into a meaningful cause. They organized the Ride to Prevent Suicide, which creates an opportunity to raise awareness for an issue that plagues our society.
We've been doing this for 3 years. The first year we decided to do it, we lost a lot of friends to suicide. We've lost 9 friends, and we decided we needed to do something about it within our community. And, we wanted to ruin the faux pas and the whole, not talk about it. We wanted to open it up about mental health and suicide.
There's a stigma that, men don't talk about their feelings. So, we're here to say...
Or anybody.
Or anybody, yeah. It's good. And so we want to provide that avenue and share whatever resources we have available. And it's okay to ask for help every now and then.
So we set the event up. When we were first going to do it, we were just going to do a ride. And then Christy here, she's like, you know what? We need to do an event for everybody. So we changed it up. We were like, okay, we'll do a ride in the morning, and then in the afternoon, we'll do a whole event where the family can come. We got bouncing houses, we've got rock walls. Every year we add a little something new so we can just make it more fun for everybody.
Each year, the Ride to Prevent Suicide grows in popularity, but it's not about getting attendance. It's about action to address the rising suicide rates around the world.
And it's just, mental health is health. We have to talk about it. And what better way to do that than to bring in your community around you and just start opening the conversation around it.
Men, we're taught all our life. Hold your feelings in. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You gotta be a man. You gotta take care of your family, save your emotions. Well, that's what that does. It makes so men can't talk about what's going on with them. There's such a stigma that if you talk about what you're feeling inside and how you're hurting, you're not a man, you're weak. You're not weak. You're not weak at all. It's okay to talk about it. In fact, it's good. It's so good to talk about it. It lifts such a burden off you if you talk about it.
So in October of 2022, my wife and my daughter, we lost our 15-year-old daughter to suicide. Back in the day, we didn't have social media. Things were a lot different when we were kids. But now they can't get away from the social media, the bullies, everything like that. So, yeah, I've lost a stepdad to suicide. I've lost a really good friend of mine to suicide. And then my daughter, I was over there earlier at one of the booths here, and it says 75 men a week commit suicide. And that's a staggering number if you think about it. 75 men a week in the U.S. commit suicide. So just imagine how big that number is worldwide.
A lot of people just want to, sometimes a lot of people, they don't want to help. They don't want to go see a doctor. They don't want to check themselves in. A lot of people just want to be heard. They just want to talk to somebody. It's one of those situations that there's never an answer, but if we can help it out in one way, let's do it.
And these guys, they hunted me down. They hunted me down and stopped me and reminded me that I matter, I'm somebody. I mean, I don't have to be the most important person in the world, but to these people, they love me. I mean, I hate to say it, but bikers get a stereotype. You know what I'm saying? Criminals, whatever. But seriously, the biker community, when you're part of it, they take care of you. I can call anybody at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, they're gonna be there.
We've got all those ads about fighting drugs and all that stuff. Let's fight suicide. Just as strong. It needs as much or more.
And you just need somebody to listen, no one to solve. We're here. We're here.
With At Your Leisure at the Ride to Prevent Suicide, I'm Ryan Sprague.
Stedman's. Ride hard, play hard.
Sometimes you just gotta play dirty. And dirt has been the Stedman's family playground for 50 years. Come jump on or into your new side-by-side, ATV or dirt bike, and make your own trail with Stedman's in Tooele, your dealer for sales, service, and accessories. Looking for road bikes or e-bikes? We have those too. Go online or come in today and see the Stedman's family and check out their incredible line from only the best: Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, and Beta.
You might think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
At Your Leisure has a long-standing reputation and a large, loyal audience of adventurers in the outdoors. Although we're excited to continue to grow and enjoy the shared success of our longtime sponsors, we have space for more. And if you have a brand that would benefit from the 2 decades of goodwill that we've built, contact us at ayltv.com and let us amplify your voice above the competition.
When you're ready for adventure, fuel your machine with Clear 91. Fuel for performance, fuel for adventure, and fuel for the long haul. Ethanol-free, 91 octane. Fill up with Clear 91. Only available at Eagles Landing. With you for the long haul.
Where is Aurora, Utah? That's a good question. But here's a better one. Why should Aurora, Utah be your next destination? Some people will ask, where can I go on my next adventure? A better question is, how far can I go on my next adventure? In Aurora, the answer is as far as your gas tank will take you. Aurora, all 570 in the heart of central Utah. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
So we have had a great day out here riding the new Xpeditions. Polaris has done a great job with them. If you guys have any questions, hit us up on our social media page, either on At Your Leisures or SlikRoks. We'll answer any questions we can for you. But you'll want to make sure to check out next week's show. It's shaping up to be a good one.
Hey, thanks, Curt. Next week, Rhea and I are finding our next adventure in the sand as we get the side-by-sides out for a fun-filled weekend at Sand Mountain at the UTV Invasion. Then, Reese and Marianne Stein are soaking up the Serengeti as they're showing off the amazing wildlife on their latest expedition to the highlands of Eastern Africa. And finally, if you're just getting into off-roading and aren't sure where to get started, then we've got the perfect answer for you as we are showing off the all-new Off-Roading 101 class at Sand Hollow. Now, let's take a look at our calendar of events. First up, summer season may be coming to a close, but there's still time to catch the Color Country OHV Jamboree in Iron County. It's September 27th through the 30th, so be sure to get out and enjoy some great rides, prizes, and food. Then, October's coming up quick, so don't forget to get the costumes ready for both you and your machines for some ghostly good times at the one and only Halloween Howl in Marysville, Utah on Saturday, October 28th.
You guys are going to want to make sure to check out next week's show. It's looking really good. We've had a great day today out here in the mountains riding around the new Polaris Xpeditions. But just remember,
there's adventure around every bend.
Just got to get out there and find it.
At your leisure.